it's Tyrone from outsourcinglive.com, and welcome to the dedicated channel where I share with you outsourcing tips and also how to build a virtual team to be able to run your business. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the truth about outsourcing. What is that? Alright, well, I had a question from a particular viewer, and he said he really wants to know the ugly and the bad of outsourcing. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Basically, in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the ugly things that I've come across in outsourcing from my personal experience and also stories that I've heard as well. And it might help you to actually understand the reasons why these things also do happen. And it's not necessarily always our fault, or it's just circumstances that do happen. So let me just take a step back. When I first started outsourcing for my Dragon Boat business, going back probably now about 3 or 4 years ago now, I had a bad experience with it, and I was learning to really just learn the ropes by myself. I picked up that concept from Tim Ferriss, and my first initial impression was go straight to India and hire someone who can pay $3-4 an hour, which I did, and I went straight to Elance as well. That was my first point of contact. And unfortunately for me, I struggled with this 3 times. I failed at it 3 times without finding the right suitable person. Now, what happened was all I wanted to do was to find a web developer, and I understood that people in India had very high professional skills in the web developing side of things. And I had no idea what I was doing, to be honest. I just jumped into it with feet first and just went, okay, I'm going to hire the first person that I meet. Bad choice. And I also went for the cheapest as well. So that was something that was definitely something I've learned that doesn't work all the time. And I'll give you the story behind it. Was I was looking for a full-time web developer, or actually no, it wasn't full-time, it was only part-time, sorry. Now that I've hired full-time, I've got so used to that, but I hired part-time, and it was just only probably for about 15 to 20 hours a week to be able to create my website, to tweak it, to manage it, and so forth. And this person that I hired from India, he said, yep, $3.50 an hour was fine, and he could actually program for me. Now, I hired him first, and I sent over some work to him. And the funny thing is that they'll say yes to everything. With people in India, they will just say yes to anything, and we'll come back to you with something else. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like going, okay, I described it to you. I sent it to you via email. I even drew and highlighted everything for him. And unfortunately, he just did whatever he thought was right. So there was absolutely no thought process in place, and there was no boundaries, there was no structure in place. All I did was just send emails through and hopefully, hoping for the best. So the truth behind that was that I just went boom boom, failed it, and stuck with it. Now the worst part about it was that I didn't decide to let go, and I should have done that much earlier. I actually held on to this guy for about 4 months before I actually made a decision to just fire him and let him go. And during that time, it got even worse, and I didn't realize how bad it was until when I contacted him directly, and one of my clients was actually chasing me to get something done for their website, because I had also taken on some work to help other clients too. And when that did happen, I found out that he had actually outsourced to another person. Unbelievable. And I was blown away. I was like, man, what the heck is going on here? I'm really telling you everything from my heart right now. So if you haven't seen me this before, I was furious because I had thought that I could trust this one person to actually get my work done, and also too, I trusted him with all my private information, like the website details, the access to very private files that were on this website. And I had found out that he had just outsourced it to someone else. So instead of outsourcing me to him, he outsourced to him, then to outsource to another person. And that was the point where I just went, flip, cut it off, and that's it. So the truth about that matter was that I completely did not have any control, and I just really spoiled and did not do anything by the right way. So learning from that experience was that, 1, I guess I should put more boundaries in place. 2, not to pay anyone until they've got the work done. And that was my other issue that I faced as well, was that I started paying this person from step 1 because he insisted that he wanted to take payment up front. So I said, all right, it wasn't much. I was going to pay him like, $100 for that first month or something like that just to get done. I thought, yeah, all right, I'll pay it. It's not that much. But when I look back at it, even though it was only $100, it was something that was behind that process to be able to ensure that the part could be done properly. And when you pay someone, there's a high chance that they'll go, okay, I'll take the money, but I won't do anything. Or I'll take the money, but I'll just drag it out and just do it whenever I feel like it. And that's the wrong mentality that they have, that I also, let go and just did that. So from that lesson, I learned in future, if I'm ever going to hire someone, is before I do hire someone, just jumping in based on price, jumped in based on whatever I could take on first, I need to test them. And that's something I've learned, is the truth is that you need to test them. And if you need to spend time and they need to spend time on doing that work, say you'll pay them for it. I was recently looking for a new video editor. And when I was looking for that video editor, I hired a few people to be able to test first. Like, I tested a few people. I didn't hire them and say, yes, you're part of my business, but I asked them to run and do a few of the tasks that I asked. And I said, I'll pay you for that. You spend 10 hours, I'll pay you for 10 hours. That way you can really, really get to know whether or not this person will get it completed and can do the job. And if he can't, you don't want to hire him. So that way you don't spend that much money in the long term or over even the medium term. So that's really some of the truths that I faced, and I know I'm starting to sort of reveal a lot more that can potentially happen. And I think this video I could probably turn it into some kind of podcast, because there's so many things that I know from my experience and also from others, that there's been so many pitfalls and really bad things that have happened and ugly things that can happen in outsourcing. Alright, I think I'll keep it at that. In another story or another time, I'm going to share with you some other interesting things that have happened with me with outsourcing. But what I'd love you to do is to share with me what some of the things that you're struggling right now, what some of the issues that you're facing, and if you've had any stories like mine, to share right down below, because I'd love to hear about them. It'll be fun to talk about it, and for me to be able to see how I can also give you some guidance on that as well. All right. So feel free to leave a comment down below, and also too, if you've got any other questions, you can ask me as well. Now, if you haven't popped over on Facebook to say hello, I'd love you to visit Facebook. It's basically outsourcinglive.com/Facebook, and you can check out my Facebook fan page there and pop over and say hello, and I'll say hello back to you. And just leave a comment if you feel free as well to ask any questions and so forth. So I'd love you to go over there and say hello right now. And also too, I wish you all the best of success as well with this, because I know that this is not an easy way to go about outsourcing. All right, as always, what I like to say now is to just wish you all the best with outsourcing, and just remember to just outsource it, okay? So, bye for now.
Now, if you like more resources like this one, you can find them inside Mass Outsource Mastermind, along with video tutorials and step-by-step instructions showing exactly how I use them. To get a 30-day, no-risk trial membership to Mass Outsource Mastermind, simply visit freevideoset.com. Until next time, I wish you success in your quest for outsourcing.